Very basic Bible. Quick reading through the book of Matthew. We're at the very end of Matthew chapter 23. Going to start the timer for 8 minutes. Here we go. Look, your house is left you desolate. Whose house? Jerusalem. Jesus was just fussing at the religious leaders. Okay. But I tell you, you will not see me again until you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Remember, that's what the kids were saying. That's what the crowd were saying. That's what the crowd was saying. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Come on, religious leaders. Next chapter. At that time, Jesus left and was walking away. When his disciples came up to him to call, Jesus left the temple. His disciples came up to him to call his attention to its buildings. Do you see all these things? All the buildings of the temple? Truly, I tell you, Jesus said, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. These buildings getting demolished. As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen, the temple being demolished? And what will be the sign of your coming in of the end of the age? Okay. Jesus answered, so here we go. Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. What does this have to do with what will be the sign in the end of the age? I guess don't be deceived, okay? Just don't be deceived, okay? Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of birth pains. The beginning of birth. I'm not sure exactly. All this stuff's going to be happening. Okay. The disciples are asking him, when is the temple going down? When are you coming? The end of the age? That's what Jesus is saying. Let's keep going, I guess. Then you will be handed over to the persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. He's already told them in the past, you're going to suffer for my sake. So, I mean, it's just, he's already told them this is going to happen. So at that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other, and many false prophets will appear and deceive many. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations. Then the end will come. Okay, let's see. When will this happen? The temple destroyed. Will it be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Okay. Says the gospel is going to go to the whole nation. Then the end will come. To the whole world as a testimony to all nations. Then the end will come. Is that worldwide? Generally, they spoke of the whole world, meaning the world they knew. Like Jesus knew there was a Roman Empire, and the disciples knew there's a Roman Empire. You know, probably what they're talking about. Sometimes they call Babylon the ends of the earth, but they knew there was stuff beyond Babylon. Okay. So like the gospel is going to go everywhere. Okay, basically. And he already told his disciples, you're going to go out and spread the gospel. So when you see standing in the holy place, the abomination that causes desolation, that's in the book of Daniel, spoken of through the prophet Daniel. Let the reader understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let no one on the housetop go down to take anything out of his house. Let no one in the field go back to get their cloak. Don't waste time. Look, when you see whatever this is, when you see that, you know, truly I tell you, not one stone will be, the temple's going down. You know the sign of your coming into the age, okay? Stand firm to the end, okay? You're going to be suffered. You're going to be beaten up. The gospel is going to spread. But when you see the sign, flee to Judea. Don't go flee from Judea. Don't be wasting no time. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Yeah, if you're trying to flee, pray that your flight does not take place in winter or on the Sabbath. Okay. For then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world to now, and never to be equaled again. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. Great distress, unequal from the beginning of the world until now. Wow, it's crazy. At that time, if anyone says to you, look, here's the Messiah, or there he is, do not believe it. Okay, he's told us that earlier. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time. They're told in the Old Testament, don't be following no false prophets. And he's saying around this time, a lot of whatever this time is, that the temple's going to be destroyed, it's like the end of the age, or no, Jesus coming, whatever that is, lots of false prophets are going to show up, I guess. But Jesus has told them ahead of time. So if anyone tells you, there he is out in the wilderness, don't go out to, or here he is in the inner room, don't believe it. For as the lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever the carcass is, their vultures will gather. Okay, when lightning comes, you're going to see it. When there's vultures, you know there's a carcass. Hey, there he is in the wilderness. It's not going to be subtle. Okay, Jesus has told us ahead of time. You're going to know when he comes. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. Isaiah 13:10-34. That sounds crazy. So after a bunch of there's wars and earthquakes, the disciples are going to go preach like Jesus told them they were. They're going to be hated. His word's going to spread everywhere. That's what he already told them. People are going to say, hey, there's false messiahs. I mean, Jesus said this is the bad stuff that's going to happen anyway. Then the sun's going to be darkened. The moon will not give its light. Okay, this is common language in the Old Testament. Okay, that's why we have the reference to Isaiah. Moon not giving its light, heavenly bodies being shaken, common language in the Old Testament. God says he's going to shake the heavens. He's going to roll up the sky like a scroll. He's going to come down on clouds. Then what happens to Israel? It gets destroyed by a foreign army. Cosmic deconstruction language, the sun being darkened, the moon will not give its light, stars falling from the sky. Cosmic deconstruction language means the nation's going to be destroyed. Okay. So look at this up here. For that time, there will be great distress, unequal from the beginning of the world until now. That was said several times in the Old Testament. Then nations were destroyed. Okay. So right now, sun will be darkened. That was stars will fall from the sky. Said many times in the Old Testament about Israel and other foreign nations. Then they were destroyed by an army. The temple, is it going to be destroyed by an army? The abomination of desolation. Okay, guys, here. Let's keep going. This is kind of confusing. Let's keep going. Then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. When will be the sign of your coming? Okay, guys, there we go. Let's continue this kind of strange chapter next time. And if what I've been saying about the whole abomination of desolation in the Old Testament and all that, you're like, BJ, where are you getting all this from? If you're confused by this, remember, go to the verse by verse teachings that I have under the YouTube video. You scroll down into the YouTube video, I got teachings under there. You click on them, you go, let the teachers teach you. But for now, we're doing a quick read. See you on the next quick read.